14 years ago, Josh and I started adventuring together. 12 years ago, he left for basic training, and 8 months later, we were married. And a week after our wedding, we were on our way to his first duty station in Anchorage, Alaska. Over the last 14 years, the adventures have been insane, difficult, crazy, amazing, wonderful, breathtaking, but always blessed. 1 year ago, this month, we embarked on possibly our biggest adventure yet, moving our family of 5 back to Alaska, but this time it would be the interior. Over dinner one night, we just had conversation. We finally got dinner alone, and we realized through our conversation that it was both our dreams to move back to Alaska someday. 2 weeks after he went back to work for the holidays, Josh came home and told me that he had applied for a position at Eielson Air Force Base. Not the timeline that I was expecting, but when Josh gets an idea in his head, it happens, and it happens fast. At that point, I had 2 options. I could either run with him or I could hold him back, and I choose to run with him every single time. Everything happened really fast after that. We were so blessed to find our dream Alaska property online, and we signed the closing paperwork from South Carolina in June, and never having stepped foot on the property. And we arrived here in July of 2019. It's -30 out here right now, so let's go inside where it's warm and have a look. Okay, so quick intro to the tour of the rest of the house. I put off filming this part of the video for a while because I kept thinking, I need to film, okay, today's the day I'm gonna film the kitchen and the dining room and the living room. But first, I need to wipe the wall because our tiniest human likes to drag his hand up the wall when he goes up the stairs. Even though there's a handrail over here, he wants to use the wall. And then the garage door, disgusting. I could wipe it every day and it would still look like that. And then, I kept saying, I'm going to mop the floors. I'm going to vacuum the furniture before I do the filming. Oh, and look at all those fingerprints all over the dishwasher and the refrigerator. And this bathroom is gross. Like, we need to get this cleaned out before I let the world see it. So I kept, putting it off. But y'all, I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, and I stay at home. Josh works during the day. It usually falls on me. The best I can do is make sure that the house is tidy, not clean. So usually, when the kids were little, I just felt like it was always a mess. And the best I could do was keep the kids alive. Now that they're older, they're more self-sufficient and they keep their stuff picked up for the most part. We're still working on some things. And I make sure everybody has clean clothes to wear and food to eat. So that's as close as I can get. So you're about to see another thing that I thought was, what good is it going to do everybody who views this video to think that we live like this all the time? I want to show a real life representation of our house. Like, you're here to see, I feel like you're here to see what our house looks like, not how clean it is. You just want to kind of see what we bought and the way it's laid out. And I kind of want to show like a few things that I have done to decorate. We haven't gone very far yet because we've just moved here and we're still kind of trying to get settled. But I'm getting ready to show you guys the bones of our house, what we've done with it so far, and what we plan to do with it. And so I hope that you enjoy this video, and I hope that you enjoy the tour of our house. So when you walk into our front door, you immediately can come either up the stairs into the kitchen, or you can go down the stairs into the basement. Well, it's not really a basement, it's kind of like our first level. So this is our kitchen. Right now it's dark outside, so it's a lot easier for me to show you without a glare on the windows. Here's another view of the kitchen. We have really nice under the cabinet track lighting that really does a lot to light up the counter space when you're cooking, because it is really dark in the wintertime and you need that extra light. And let's see what else. But I've left the garland up from Christmas because I like the lights, the extra lights, but now we're at the end of the dark 90s, so we can think about, you know, taking down the extra lighting that we have and just having more sunlight. This is our dining room space. Yes, those are birthday decorations left over from Silas' birthday. I told you this was going to be a real life honest look at our house. And I was not kidding. His birthday was December 6th, and we still have some of his birthday decorations left. That is the door to the backyard, and it opens out onto a deck and then goes down the stairs into the backyard. This is a space in our dining room that I've designated for homeschooling stuff. It's usually that messy. I like for it to be tidier, but I've kind of been slacking on getting the kids to tidy up their space the past couple weeks. And then of course we have our oil shelves up above there. I built the oil shelves with wood from Lowe's and the rebar that I found on the property when we moved in here. And the shelves I built out of crates that I bought from Michael's, and I stained them with the same color that I used for the oil shelves. Our dining room table and chairs I bought on Facebook Marketplace. We needed to sell or get rid of a lot of stuff when we went to do the move to Alaska, and one of those things was our dining room table. So I found the dining room table, the pedestal table with 4 chairs from Facebook Marketplace, and the lady wanted $40 for it, and I jumped on it because that is a solid table. We're pretty sure it's made out of oak, and it's very sturdy, and it came with 1 leaf. The chairs, they were useful, but there were only 4 of them, and they weren't my favorite. They weren't the look that I was going for. I really wanted chairs like what we have there, and I bought those chairs just recently for $50 for all 5 of them off Facebook Marketplace, and I don't plan to redo them. I'm going to leave them just the way they are. I like the wood, and these chairs are very solid, very sturdy, and very comfortable. So we were really lucky. I won't say lucky. I will say God really blessed us in that area. Our dining room table set was $90 from Facebook Marketplace. Okay, standing in the dining room next to the dining room table, you can see there our pantry with Maddie's beautiful artwork on the chalkboard section of the door. And then we're going to go into the living room from the dining room. I love this part of the house. It's a little dark, so I'm hoping to install some lighting in the shelves. Whoops. And on each side. And then of course our beautiful wood stove. And I've got the kids' table and chairs in here. It's a great place for them to work on their coloring or their Legos or do a puzzle or anything like that. And again, we have our garland up in here. I really love this space. It's very comforting. Oh, those chests there we bought for the smaller one we bought for $3 and the larger one we bought for $8. I mean $5. So the whole set was $8 from a yard sale. That blanket there was a gift from my aunt and from Mexico. And the lamp there we paid $5 for the lamp and the shade from a different yard sale. And then, because like I said, we had to sell or get rid of a lot of stuff to be able to make the move here. The coffee table there is Josh's coffee table that he's had forever. The mirror we bought from, and the coffee table is in very good shape. It's very sturdy, and it's a really good piece of furniture. It's been through 3 babies, countless moves, and a teething puppy. And he never did chew on it, which we were really lucky, but it would have withstood that, I'm sure. And then that mirror on the wall we also bought for $15 from a yard sale. And then we've got this chair here. We had the 2 armchairs downstairs, but we found that we weren't spending a lot of time downstairs, and we just would have rather had the extra seating up here. So we brought the armchairs up here. So we're going into the kids' rooms, and I'm going to try to scare them because they've been in there waiting for me to get done filming, and so that it's quiet in here. And so they've been in there waiting, and I'm going to see if I can scare them. Roar!
Ah!
You scared me.
I did. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? We did paint the trim in the hallway, but the walls have to be painted still. And there was a thermostat there on the wall, but we replaced the thermostat downstairs with a Nest thermostat, and we like that a lot better. So we're gonna patch over that and when we paint the hallway. And then also in the hallway we have the Nest Protect, and that was actually what alerted us to the fact that there was CO in the house a couple months after we moved in. And that Nest Protect is really a really big asset to our family. This is supposed to be a linen closet, but we use it for homeschool supplies. And then in here we have Maddie's bedroom. And she's got her lights on her bed, and I'm gonna just show you that before I turn the light on. There we go. So she's got a keyboard in here, horse posters all over the wall because she absolutely loves horses. And then her dresser is under her bed. She's got a little bulletin board down there that I need to hang on the wall for her. And her baby doll stuff underneath the platform. We built these beds. We built all 3 of them. It took us 3 days of active working to build the beds, and then there was a break in the middle because I had the flu at the time. So she's got horse posters all over her walls. Her bed, if you see, her little comforter has horses on it, purple horses. And then we put up these crates on the wall for the kids to use as nightstands. And you can see she's got her diffuser, her clock, her little horse lamp up there, all the books that she wants accessible to her in the bed. And then she's got little crates down there that she uses to keep more books and crafting supplies and notebooks and stuff. And then over here is her closet, and she asked me before I filmed her room would I rehang her door for her, and I completely forgot. So there's that. And in the summer her window gets a lot of sunlight. And so when we first moved into the house, she was having a really hard time sleeping at night because the sun doesn't go down until, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning, depending on where we are in the season. And so her daddy, Josh, took the horse blankets that she has and hung them up on the windows until we could get some curtains hung up for her. And those curtains she has had in her room since she was a baby. Those are the curtains that were hanging in her nursery, and that was the only nursery that I've ever done. Okay, walking out of Maddie's room, straight across the hall, so there's the bathroom there on the right. Straight across the hall is the boys' room. And there is Silas' bed. And for the boys, we got little dressers. We ordered them off of Amazon and put them underneath the platforms to kind of save space in their rooms. And it has really worked out well. So then we've got Tommy's bed over here. And his dresser drawer is open for some reason. And then we've got another place where we can keep, in that piece of furniture, you can kind of see it. It has different bins and sections in the bottom, and we use that mostly for toys that have little pieces. So each set has its own bin. So we keep Magna-Tiles, Lincoln Logs, Tinker Toys they have in there. Also, there's a section for Nerf guns and their bullets. They're mini bullets. And then, you know, of course, he's got his nightstand up here. He has a lava lamp on there that he made from his Kiwi crate, and some of the books and oils that he uses, and it looks like he's got his art set up there. So that's Tommy's bed. And there's their closet. Now this room was the master bedroom of the house, but we had a really hard time with who to put downstairs because the house is laid out 2 bedrooms upstairs, 1 bedroom downstairs. And we weren't really sure who we wanted to put upstairs and who we wanted to keep downstairs. And then I was talking with a friend, and she said, well, why don't you and Josh just take the bedroom downstairs and put all the kids upstairs so they would all be together? And I was like, why didn't I think of that? So that's what we did. And so the boys share this room, because this is the bigger room, and then Maddie's got her own room across the hall, and I like that they're all together. And then Josh and I have our own space downstairs. So that's the bed space and the closet. And then in this corner is Silas' little teepee, and he's got the lights turned off right now, but there's lights that go down the poles, and it's so whimsical, and he loves it. And then the burst samplers that my mom made for them on the wall there, and a place to display their artwork. Now this next space I cannot stand. I almost thought about, and Josh even suggested, he was like, well, you don't have to show it if you don't like it, but I want to give a real honest, look of our house, and this is part of that. So the next space is the kids' bathroom that's upstairs, and well, we'll get into it. Here we go. So it's a good space, but it just, even when it's clean, it feels dirty in here, and it just needs a facelift. The grout needs to be refinished. The vanity needs to be sanded down and either repainted or restained. I really think I'm just going to stain it. I do like the tile that's on top of it, but the wood part needs to be refinished. And I would really like to rip this floor up and set it on fire. It drives me crazy. I would really like to put down in here what's in the kitchen, the flooring that's in the kitchen in here, because the flooring that's in the kitchen is not wood, it's tile, it's ceramic tile. And I think it would look so good in here. And then of course, there's just some places on the wall that they had some stuff hanging there, and it needs to have all that hardware pulled out. The wall needs to be patched, and then the whole place needs to be painted. But we do have it, but like I said, it is a really good space. There's a closet there on the left, and that's our linen closet. It's actually a really big closet. And I also keep my sewing machine in there so that it's accessible for when I want to pull it out and set it on the dining room table and get some sewing done. And it's a really good space for storage. So that's the kids' bathroom. Like I said, that's a real honest look at it. And I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not a terrible place, but it stresses me out. I don't know why. And this wood paneling here, I don't know what they were thinking with first of all, the wainscoting, but second of all, what is that color? What were they going for in here? And that light switch plate, what? And then over here, there's an outlet with the same thing. My favorite part of this bathroom is all of Tommy's scripture cards right there that he's been working on over the past several weeks. He hangs them up in the bathroom and so that he can see them every day. I'm not sure how far up we're going to go with that, but right now he's got those hanging there. So that was the upstairs of the house. Now if you remember when we came in the front door, you had the choice, so we live in a split level, so you had the choice of either going upstairs or going downstairs. Now we're going to go downstairs and show the downstairs. We thought we had it figured out the way we wanted it set up, but it didn't work out, and now we just kind of use it as like a catch-all until we have time to get down there and reorganize. So let's go downstairs. Okay, while we're here, we're just going to pause a minute and I'll show you the entryway. So when we first moved in here, I painted all of this because it was this dark, ugly, nasty red color. And I could not see. You can see it right there. And I could not stand it, but I didn't have an extension ladder that I could reach all of that. So I made myself as happy as I could, and I painted what I could, and it really lightened up this area. And I like it much better, but now it's driving me crazy that I have that burnt orange rust color on the rest of it, and I need to get it done. So that's like really high on my priority list. But just getting painted what I had done it made me feel a lot better. So there's a closet. That's our where we hang our winter coats and our boots and our hats and everything like that. And that goes out into our 2-car garage. So now we're going to go downstairs. Okay, this, like I said, is kind of like where our catch-all space is. When maybe, I don't know, 2 months ago or so, we had our two red armchairs sitting here. The reason that it really isn't working well for this area down here is because we were using it, we were keeping it, organized and tidy, but then winter hit and we started using that wood stove, and it was so dusty. Everything was just covered in dust all the time. And I got really frustrated, and I just didn't like being down here because every time I would use my desk, I would have to dust everything off before it was just really frustrating. So now I just want to take a minute to talk about these stairs. So they are original to the house, and to my knowledge, they've never been redone. I could be wrong about that, but they really could use a sanding down. Like anybody else would sand them down and restain them, but I love them so much the way that they are. There's a crack in the second one. They're really worn in the middle where people have walked, and they are really, they're really rough around or worn around the edges and stuff. And I mean, you can see where paint has been dripped on them and stuff like that. But I love them so much. I just think they're so beautiful and they have so much character. I refuse to let anybody redo these stairs. The only thing we are going to do is, paint that part right there. So I love the stairs so much. And I'm going to keep them original the way that they are. Going from the office space into the laundry room. That's where our utilities are. And it's a place that we use for storage. And there's Harriet back there in the crate. Okay, going from the office space into the back part of the bottom floor, we have our bedroom straight ahead and our bathroom on the right. Now, our bathroom is super tiny and it stresses me out, not as much as the kids' bathroom does, but still stresses me out because it's a cute little space, but I have no bathtub. And we didn't have any counter space, so I took and hung a floating shelf below. I had to move the mirror up and hang the floating shelf there above the sink, so that way we'd have somewhere to put our stuff. This is our bedroom, and we are slowly working on our bedroom. So when we moved, so we've never actually had a headboard or a footboard. It just seemed like we always had something else that we needed to purchase that was more important to spend our money on. So we always took care of that first, and we've never had a headboard. I would love to have a headboard, and I know exactly what I want, but it's just never, we haven't made it that far yet. So this is our bedroom, and we have paint chips on the wall. We actually have chosen a paint color. I don't know why those paint chips are still up there, but we have chosen a color. I need to take them down. Actually go order the paint and just do it. Right, so that was our Alaskan dream home. I hope you enjoyed seeing it as much as I enjoyed showing it to you. As we were going through the rooms and I was filming, it caused me to reflect on the last 7 months of us being here. Yes, it's been 7 months. I can't believe it either. But I was prompted to think about the 7 months that we've spent here and everything that we went through just to even get here before that. As I was going through and filming the different rooms and kind of talking about them a little bit. So the first thing that I thought about was how much this house means to us and what it means to us. So it means to me more than just a shelter from the 30 below temperatures outside. It represents more, it represents a new season for our family, and it represents a season of relational and emotional healing. God has healed and grown me in my heart in ways that I never dreamed possible. He's revealed to me things that I need to improve on. He's revealed to me ways that I need to humble myself. And through that, he's grown our marriage. He's provided healing and forgiveness within our marriage and within our family. And this house has given us a safe space for that healing and that growing. And this is where all of that has taken place. And my eyes have been opened in ways that I never could ever even imagine. And I'm so thankful to God for the growth that I've experienced and the growth that our marriage has experienced as a result of the changes that he's made in me. And it's in this house that I've allowed myself to accept healing and peace and closure in different aspects, in different ways. and from different experiences that I've been through in the past several years. And I'm not naive. I know that in this house that we'll face more difficulties, we'll face um, more hardships because I mean we have to be here for 4 years, so we're gonna face a lot of other things. But I think that I'll always be able to look back on this time in this house and be thankful for and remember the peace that I was able to get to in this place. So I'll always remember this house fondly as a place of peace where God provided peace and healing for me. So another thing that I reflected on was all the obstacles that we faced and just what I learned about God's will and how like it's not always. I always thought it's not always straightforward. I always thought that when you were seeking God's will in a decision that you have to make in your life, that if you come up in an obstacle, that was God trying to say, no, this is not the way I want you to go. You need to go another way. And he was trying to close a door. But what I've learned through this experience is that just because you come up on an obstacle doesn't mean that God's trying to tell you to go in a different direction. Sometimes he wants us to partner with him and he wants us to fight for it. And it's through those times that he builds a base for our relationship of trust and faith with him, because then you can look back and you can say, okay, I went through that difficulty, I went through that obstacle, but I partnered with God and he got me through it. So in this difficulty, then I'm going to be able to get through this because I've got God and I know he can get me through this. So, and it's in those times that he really proves his sovereignty and you really get to see his face and he reveals more about himself to you. So I realized that when I face a difficulty, I've got two options. I can either dwell in the temporary inconvenience, or I can recognize it for what it is, an adventure that's meant to change me, challenge me, and grow me closer to God. And when I dwell in the inconvenience, I make myself and everyone else miserable. But when I recognize it for what it is, I get determined and I pray and I partner with God and we get to work and we get through it. So there's a verse in Romans, I think it's chapter 5, verse 3. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It says that we should glory in our tribulations because they work patience, and patience works experience, and experience works hope. And we have that hope in God. And so I think it's okay to struggle, but it's not okay to stay there. It's okay to say, oh, this really sucks. Like I do not want to have to, I don't want to face this, but make that temporary and then make the move into recognizing that you've got God and he's got you and you can move on. And then, so, like I said, it's okay to struggle. It's okay to get down, but it's not okay to stay there. And so take a step forward, no matter how big, because a step forward is progress, no matter how tiny of a step you take. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of this house. If you have any questions, ask away in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And I hope you leave here and take a step forward no matter what you're facing today.